In this video, we're going to remove the rear end and the rear suspension from this 1971 Camaro. Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Dan and you're watching Resto Car, your source for DIY content to help you finish those builds. And hey, if you're a weekend warrior and you got a project at home, consider subscribing because that's what we do here on Resto Car. All right, so in the last video, we got the subframe disconnected from the body of the car. And in this video, we are going to get the rear end and rear suspension out from under the car with the plan to then get the car flipped up on its side so that we can clean up all of our welds underneath and get the underside coated in primer. So the plan for today is to jack the car up. We're going to take the tires off. Then we're going to remove everything that's attached to the body. And we are going to then lower the rear end and just wheel it out on the jack. So leaf springs and all. So it's all coming out. Now this car has a sway bar in the back. It's got an old Rancho kit. So basically we got to go ahead and get all that stuff disconnected from the car. Get the shocks disconnected up there. Then we should be good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and start by jacking up the car here under the rear end and go from there. All right guys, so now that we got the tires and wheels off, we're gonna go ahead and put some jack stands over here under this frame rail. Then we'll set the car on that, and then that'll allow us to start taking some stuff down. And we'll leave the jack under the rear end the whole time. This way it's not hanging free. So yeah, let's go ahead and get some jack stands under these and start tearing it apart. All right guys, so we're gonna get the shocks out of the way first. Basically we have two bolts up there that we need to remove. Down here where the leaf springs and everything come together, we got a bolt here that we need to remove. So go ahead and get those out of the way on both sides, and then we will move our attention to the sway bar end links here. So all right guys, so we got the shocks out of the way. So now we are good to go to remove these sway bar pieces here. And just a quick look to show you guys what it looks like up there. If you're working on a Camaro, you can kind of get an idea of what that's like. So yeah, let's go ahead and get the sway bar pieces out of the way. I'm assuming these were added aftermarket here. Those welds don't look like they were original. So we'll go ahead and just kind of take these apart here and probably here, make it easier to drag it out. So we're just going to take them off, the whole pieces. So let's go ahead and do that. All right guys, so the next thing we need to do is get rid of any kind of brake lines or whatever. The only one I have is attached up here, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that bracket out of the way. Then we'll be ready to take off these leaf springs. All right guys, we got the brake line disconnected from the bracket. We just took the whole bracket off up in there. So now we are ready to disconnect the leaf springs from up here. We're gonna just take that whole pocket out up there. And then over here, we're gonna take these bolts out on the bottom. Hopefully if there's enough room there. If not, we'll take the ones out on top. And then basically we will drop the rear end down and pull it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and take these ends off first. And then after that, I'll take these ends off. So let's go ahead and start on this side. All right, guys, there was nothing pretty about that. You know, these things look rather new. I thought they'd come out a little easier. You know, a lot of times when you buy rear suspension kits and everything, it comes with all this stuff. So if you have to, just cut it. was able to get it out, but the pin's not going to be able to be reused. It's all chewed up now. So if you guys got any tips on removing those things, let me know. Let's go do the other side. All right, guys, so this piece up here, you know, there's this metal bracket up here that bolts to the body, and basically you should be able to drop all that down. However, I have a bolt on each side that's spinning, and when you kind of reach in here, you can feel there's like cage nuts in there. So it's looking like I'm gonna have to cut the last 2 bolts off. I don't know how I'm gonna repair that area yet. So we'll see. You can see it right there. That's the one that's kind of stuck in there. All right, guys, good update. I was able to get them out. And basically how I did that is I applied pressure using a flat screwdriver on this side, and then I was able to pull the thing out. So you can see that there's these, I don't know what you call these. I don't know if these are like J nuts or whatever, but basically that's what they are. And it seems like, I don't know if I can see anything under here. Let me see. So the one I was having trouble with was right here. So you can get a good look at that. And basically just by prying down and then backing that bolt out, it came out. So same thing on this side, except I had to get out a bigger pry bar. So basically put this up into here like that, and then I pried up, and at the same time I put the air to it and it came out. So we're good to go. We're gonna go ahead and back all this suspension out. All right, guys, so we got the rear end out. What I'm gonna do now is kind of drag it over here in the wide open area and get these leaf springs off because we're not gonna use them. So yeah, let's go ahead and see if we can drag this thing over here without breaking our back. So basically we got the rear end out, we got the leaf springs off. Those things, there's like it's almost like a lift kit for the car, so we're not gonna be using those. Probably gonna try to reuse these sway bars, and you know, we'll see how they work. I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't work with new ones. I guess it just depends. But if not, we can always order some new ones. Take a quick look underneath, everything's gone. No more rear end for this car. No suspension, anything, so. Got lots of stuff we can do moving forward. We can work on the subframe, we can work on the rear end, getting it cleaned up. But what I really want to do is I want to flip the car over and get the underside cleaned up and get all those welds cleaned up. So that's first on my list. Haven't quite decided how I'm going to do that yet. If you guys want to find out how we're going to get that car flipped up on its side, go ahead and subscribe and hit that post notification bell so that you get alerts whenever we post the next video. We'll see you in the next one.